The link had been sitting in his inbox for 3 days before he finally gathered the courage to open it. It wasn't unusual for him to receive random messages. His email was public, tied to the small but growing online presence he had built over the years, sharing fragments of his thoughts with strangers who sometimes felt closer than people he knew in real life. But this one was different. There was no subject line, no explanation, just a single line in the body. "Watch this when you're ready." He didn't know why those words unsettled him. Maybe it was the quiet certainty in them, as if whoever had sent the link knew him well enough to understand that readiness, for him, was never simple. On the third night, sleep refused to come. The ceiling above him seemed heavier than usual, pressing down on his thoughts, stirring memories he had worked hard to bury. At 2:17 a.m., he gave in. He opened the email. The video began without any introduction. A shaky frame, dim lighting, and then slowly the image settled into focus. It was a woman. She sat in what looked like a small room. Plain walls behind her, a single window to her left. Her face was partially shadowed, but there was something painfully familiar about the way she tilted her head, the way her eyes searched the camera as if looking through it. He leaned closer to the screen, his heart beginning to pound. She spoke his name. Not loudly, not dramatically, just softly, like someone calling out to a memory. His breath caught. He hadn't heard his name spoken like that in years. "If you're watching this," she said, her voice trembling slightly, "then it means I finally found the courage to send it." He froze. There was no doubt now. It was her, Aisha. The name rose in his mind like something sacred and forbidden at the same time. He hadn't spoken it out loud in a long time, as if doing so would reopen a door he had sealed shut with every ounce of strength he had. But here she was, alive on his screen, looking older, tired perhaps, but unmistakably her. "I don't know where to start," she continued, offering a faint, uncertain smile. "It's been, 7 years? 7 years, 3 months, and 11 days. He didn't need to count. His body remembered. "I've rehearsed this so many times," she said, glancing away for a moment. "But now that I'm actually here, it feels like all the words are hiding from me." He felt something tighten in his chest, a strange mix of longing and anger, of tenderness and resentment. She didn't get to struggle with words now. She had chosen silence when it mattered most. "You probably hate me," she said quietly. He didn't respond. He couldn't. "I would hate me too," she added. The video paused for a second, or maybe it was his mind that faltered. He remembered the last time he had seen her. The rain, the argument, the way she had walked away without looking back. The way he had stood there, drenched not just in water but in disbelief, waiting for her to turn around. She never did. "I owe you an explanation," she said, her voice steadier now. "I owed you one back then. I just didn't know how to give it." His hands clenched. Too late, he thought. But he kept watching. "I told you I didn't love you anymore," she continued, "that I needed something different, something more." The words hit him again, as sharp as they had that night. "But that wasn't true," she said. His eyes narrowed slightly. "I lied," she whispered. The room around him felt suddenly smaller. "I lied because the truth was harder, and I was a coward." She took a deep breath, her gaze dropping to her hands. "I was sick," she said. The word hung in the air, heavy and incomplete. At first, it was just small things. Headaches, fatigue, I thought it was stress. We both did. But then the tests came back, and everything changed. He leaned forward, his heartbeat echoing in his ears. "It was a neurological condition," she continued. "Progressive, unpredictable. The doctors said it might stabilize or it might get worse. There was no way to know." He felt a chill run through him. "I didn't want you to see me like that," she said. "I didn't want to become a burden in your life. You had dreams, plans, and I didn't even know if I had a future." A tear slipped down her cheek. "So I chose for both of us," she said, her voice breaking. "I told you I didn't love you anymore because I thought it would make it easier for you to let go." He let out a bitter, hollow laugh. Easier. 7 years of silence, of questions, of nights spent replaying every moment, searching for the point where everything had gone wrong. Easier. I know it doesn't make sense, she said quickly, as if hearing his unspoken thoughts. I know it was selfish in its own way, but at the time it felt like the only thing I could do. She wiped her tears, trying to compose herself. For a long time I thought I made the right decision, she continued. You moved on. At least that's what I told myself. And I focused on getting better. He felt something shift inside him. Because I did get better, she said, a small, hopeful smile appearing. Not completely, but enough. The treatments worked more than anyone expected. I learned how to live with it, to manage it. Hope flickered in his chest, fragile and dangerous. So I started thinking about you again, she said softly. About everything I had thrown away. He closed his eyes for a moment. You deserved the truth, she said. You deserved a choice, and I took that away from you. Silence filled the space between her words. I don't expect forgiveness, she added. I don't even know if I deserve it. He opened his eyes again, staring at her. But I needed you to know, she said. I needed you to hear it from me, even if it's years too late. She hesitated, as if debating whether to continue. There's one more thing, she said finally. His chest tightened. I'm coming back, she said. He blinked. Back. To the city, she clarified. In a week. 1,000 thoughts raced through his mind. I don't know if you'll want to see me, she said. And I'll understand if you don't, but I'll be there. At the place where we first met. The cafe. The memory hit him instantly. The corner table by the window. The nervous smile she had given him when they had both reached for the same cup of sugar. I'll be there on Friday, she said. At 6 p.m. She looked directly into the camera now. Her eyes filled with something raw and unguarded. If you come, then maybe we can talk. Really talk this time. A pause. And if you don't, she added softly, I'll understand. I'll finally let you go the way I should have back then. The video ended. The screen went black. He sat there for a long time, staring at his own reflection in the dark surface. The room was silent, but his mind was anything but. Anger, relief, confusion, hope, all tangled together in a way that made it impossible to separate one from the other. He wanted to hate her. For the lie, for the years of silence, for the pain she had left him with. But beneath it all, something else remained, something stubborn and unyielding. Love. He hated that it was still there. Friday came faster than he expected. All week, he argued with himself. One moment he was certain he wouldn't go, that he had already healed, already moved on, and there was nothing to gain from reopening old wounds. The next moment, he found himself replaying her words, imagining her sitting there, waiting, hoping. At 5:30 p.m., he was still at home. At 5:45, he grabbed his keys. He didn't remember the drive, only the feeling of his heart pounding harder with every passing minute. When he reached the cafe, he hesitated outside. Through the window, he could see the familiar interior, the same warm lights, the same arrangement of tables. And there in the corner by the window she sat, just as she had said, just as she had been all those years ago. Waiting, he stood there for a moment, watching her. She looked different. Older, yes, but there was a quiet strength in her now, something that hadn't been there before. As if the years had carved something deeper into her, something more real. He took a breath and stepped inside. The bell above the door rang softly. She looked up. Their eyes met. For a second, neither of them moved. Then she stood. His feet carried him forward before his mind could catch up. When he reached her, he stopped. So close now. Close enough to see the faint lines on her face, the slight tremor in her hands. Close enough to feel everything he had tried to forget. Hi, she said. The word was simple, but it carried years within it. He swallowed. Hi. Silence stretched between them, heavy but not empty. I wasn't sure you'd come, she admitted. I wasn't sure either, he replied. A small, nervous smile appeared on her lips. They sat down. For a moment, neither of them spoke. Then slowly, carefully, the words began to come. Not all at once, not perfectly, but honestly, for the first time. And as the evening unfolded, something shifted. Not a return to what they had been, that was gone, but something new, something built on truth instead of fear, on choice instead of assumption. When they finally stepped out of the cafe, the night air felt different, lighter. He looked at her. She looked back. There were still uncertainties, still questions. But there was also something else, a chance. And this time neither of them turned away.